Hi there, I'm Keith Cawley, and this is Thrive on the Road, a Bridgestone Americas podcast that we are taking to CES 2023 here in Las Vegas. And we are talking to partners, industry leaders, teammates at Bridgestone about this evolving world of sustainable mobility. And here we are in one of the busiest booths, I think, around all of CES 2023. We are in the Amazon AWS booth and talking with Wendy Bauer, who is the general manager of AWS Automotive and Manufacturing, and giving us a few minutes today. Thanks for joining us, Wendy.
It's really great to have you in our booth, and thank you for the time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to be hosted here. It's a lovely booth. There's a lot of activity, as you would imagine, around Amazon AWS. We have obviously seen a lot of activity at Bridgestone around Amazon Cloud moving to this digital transformational world. But I think a lot of people hear AWS or Amazon, and they have maybe a thought in their head of what Amazon is to them. It's different than Alexa, where you buy your Cyber Monday deals. What is the Amazon Web Services AWS side to start for a ground floor for people?
So in very simple terms, AWS is our business where we provide cloud services to customers. For those who wonder what cloud means, essentially it is the on-demand capabilities of what you might otherwise think of IT-based services. So compute, storage, but even more than that today, it's the more advanced capabilities like IoT, machine learning, analytics.
Okay.
But that point about it being on demand, our customers have the ability to use it when they need it, to the degree and scale they need it, in the locations around the world they need it, all at their choosing.
Gotcha. And so your journey, your background now as GM over the automotive world of AWS, are you an automotive person? Were you an Amazon person? Where does this journey take shape to this point for you?
So my background, actually, I started in the automotive industry at the age of 18, right out of high school, as an engineering student. So I'm a long-term automotive industry person, having worked at an automotive manufacturer and several tier one automotive suppliers. Around 2016, I made my transition to the technology world.
Okay.
What I love about that is that gives me a role where I have lived experiences of what it means to be in the industry, really understand the companies, the processes, the cultures to some degree as well, about really what is important to the industry. On the technology side, not only does that give us the ability to bring great technology to our customers, but I have the perspective that I really understand deeply the industry, the language, what customers are asking for, and it really helps make that translation a bit easier. So now I get the privilege of working with customers to continue to transform the industry that I love and grew up in a new way, in a different way. And so for us, AWS Automotive, really what it means is how we think about our strategy around what we build, how we partner, how we go to market, but all anchored on working backwards from what the industry needs. What are the core transformation goals? What are the business objectives? And it's that Amazon and AWS working way of working backwards from customers. What are real pain points that drive real business outcomes and values for customers? And that's what we work to do.
Well, and it's something as an automotive person that you've got to be seeing this transformation happen in the industry as a whole now for several years. How, I guess, exciting is that for you, knowing what the industry has been like and moving towards, and now being with a company that is really helping accelerate that to a degree, right?
Yeah, and I think I'll just bring it back as an example to CES here.
Sure.
So we're at CES 2023. The last time we were here in person, like many, due to the pandemic environment, was CES 2020. And if I think about the 3 years, kind of year over year view, it is really clear now that the industry understands and is embracing and to some degree is experimenting in some areas, but far beyond experimentation in other areas of bringing together cloud capabilities and really leveraging cloud capabilities into their strategic priorities. And really, we always stick to the fact that cloud is an enabler to drive a greater outcome that our customers are focused on, and we really want to enable that outcome.
And we see it, we talked to a few other people who were here in 2020, and this West Hall was still kind of not fully built out, but now this entire hall is taken over as a vehicle technology, mobility solutions, and it's almost becoming a new form of a global auto show in this one hall with so many mobility providers as take shape moving forward. We announced a partnership, Bridgestone, with AWS back in August of 2022. There's things mentioned in there that you've already said, IoT, machine learning. I mean, for people who don't really get like the technical side of those things, are there 1 to 2 or kind of examples with people in the industry or with Bridgestone in general that can bring some of those concepts to life in some way?
I'll just do a simple one, IoT, Internet of Things, right? When you think of from a technology perspective, why do we care about IoT? It's a technology enabler to actually connect something, right? And if we want to understand more about something and get data insights about something, we have to first be able to connect to it. And so IoT is the technology capability of how we draw that connectivity, and whether it be a connected car, a connected tire, or a connected tractor, take your pick. And then we don't just connect things to connect them, right? We want to understand better, and we want to figure out how to get the data off, how to analyze it, what data do we care about, what data do we not care about. But it's all about understanding and getting insights from data. So all of us who are working really hard on behalf of our customers, we can give them better services. And that's exactly part of what we're doing with Bridgestone. When you think of the connected services space, and leveraging Bridgestone's great reputation in the industry and your great products and relationships that you have with both passenger customers and even fleet providers and commercial vehicles, as you continue to strive towards driving greater value to your customers, you're positioned to do that.
Yeah, and I know we see everywhere sustainable mobility is a big thing, and I think part of all of this is to accelerate what the data can do in a lot of different ways. One of them being safety, another one of them being efficiency, sustainability of everything. I mean, where does AWS really focus in that kind of activity to accelerate that journey?
Yeah, sustainability is core to Amazon. It is core to AWS. It's in everything that we do, from even how we build and manage and continue to innovate new technologies of managing our data centers. It's also in the tooling and the frameworks in how we collaborate with our customers to bring those services to help them get the insights that they need to actually make better decisions in their supply chains and in every decision customers make. So super simple examples. If you think of big commercial fleets running around, right, in use cases like route optimization, you want the most efficient route. Simple example, but that's sustainability as well. It contributes to a better carbon footprint when you're taking the most optimized route. It also pertains to vehicle health and predictive maintenance of when you replace things, right? When you replace tires when they're readier, you can get greater life out of them, right? By having insights to data, better understanding real tire wear. You guys are doing tremendous innovation, obviously, in materials in that space that give that greater life of the tire. That all contributes to sustainability. And with technology integrated into your products, you can get better and better insights. And not only insights in the development cycle, but now with connected vehicles and software-defined vehicles, which is a trend you see around the show here, you're going to continue to get more of that with vehicles out in the field real time.
Yeah, we're seeing that with the giant Caterpillar mining truck is here. John Deere, we mentioned tractors. There's a lot of those that have the connected aspects now. And I think it really is nice. We spend a lot of time on the podcast talking to Paulo and our leaders or other teammates across the company who are trying to bring that vision to life and are advancing our tire materials products as well as the digital side. So to hear people at CES saying the same thing and talking that same language, it really reinforces the journey, right?
Very important.
Well, and I imagine too, for you in a position of AWS, like you said, you're serving clients outward, customers outward. There's a lot of people who are coming to you that want to work with you to help accelerate their journey. Bridgestone, is part of what Paulo's been leading, is co-creation. We can't do it ourselves. We have expertise, but we need to acknowledge there's other people who could either advance our expertise or have expertise that we don't. How do you approach, as mainly, maybe not mainly, but especially as a company that people come to work with, how do you approach co-creation and partnership opportunities?
I think I'll start with a fun fact about AWS, which is over 90% of our services that we offer publicly to our customers were innovated on behalf of our customers, where we either heard from them directly or anticipated their needs. where they needed us to go build a service that's that core undifferentiated heavy lifting that helps them accelerate their goals.
Okay.
And so we are a company that innovates on behalf of our customers and what can help them accelerate those goals in many ways across many industries and many technology groups and families. And we too know we can't do it alone, and we don't want to. That doesn't bring our best for our customers around the world. And so working with great innovation leaders like Bridgestone, that's how we learn and really build trusted relationships where you say, hey, these are my strategic priorities. And to get there, I need a partner that will build and invest in X, Y, and Z. And we're willing to do that, right? And then that allows you to put your resources in your organization on your points of differentiation that best suit your customers. And so I think at AWS, we are very accustomed to working in very collaborative partnerships. This is our DNA as a company. We also know that every company is not ready for that or desires that. So we are always very flexible into working ways with customers that maybe co-creation isn't the right way. That's okay.
Yeah.
And we want to offer our services to those customers too. But we want to continue to innovate on behalf of our customers.
Yeah.
And so working with Bridgestone as an example is the only way that we can get you what you need.
Awesome. Well, and see, that's all that's happening around CES, right? Is relationship building, partnership, introducing new. I mean, there's a lot of activity, like we said at the top here in this AWS booth. I mean, what were some of the things that you brought? What is the story you're trying to tell at CES along probably many of the lines we've already discussed, right?
Yeah. So AWS for automotive, as I mentioned, we think of the industry holistically. We think of that from an end-to-end value chain. That means on one day we're talking about smart or software-defined vehicles, connected mobility. We're also talking about manufacturing and supply chain and sustainability. What you see in our booth here is 4 of those themes.
Okay.
We have 11 demos that are pointing to 4 themes, which are around software-defined vehicle, connected mobility, sustainability, and digital customer experiences.
Okay.
What I love about the fact that we have 11 demos here is they are AWS plus a partner. It's back to, we know that our services are best lit up in collaboration with other partners. And you see that come to life in our booth, but it's really through those 4 themes that I touched on.
Yeah.
Which are also representative of the great themes that you see out here around the entire show floor.
Yeah.
Which is software-defined vehicles, or as I like to actually say, software-defined everything, right? It can be a vehicle, it can be a tractor, it can be a construction equipment. I mean, you see it here on the show floors. There's so much opportunity with software that can really benefit end customers. And it's awesome seeing it come to life here this week at CES.
In the 3 years since the last one, it's amazing to think about what will be in the next 2 to 3 years at CES, because it gets crazier every time. Right?
Absolutely.
But thank you for taking so much time for us today, Wendy. It was great to talk to you and learn from you and AWS, and we're excited about the journey ahead together.
Thank you for the great partnership.
It's our pleasure. And of course, we want to thank you for listening to the Thrive podcast as always. If you like this and want to listen to other episodes or catch up on some, again, that you may have already listened to and revisit, you can find us on any of your podcast platforms of choice. You can also watch videos of the podcast on our Bridgestone America's YouTube page. And if you have an email, question, topic, idea you want to talk about, you can send us a note at thrivepodcast@bfusa.com. We're in Las Vegas for CES 2023, but we're still reminding you to keep on keeping on. And remember that at Bridgestone, today, tomorrow, together, we thrive. Be good, everybody.